The very last song in Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog is instrumental. This means that I don't have a whole lot to say about it, which is why I'm ultimately going to be combining this section and just me talking about Dr. Horrible in general. But there is something to be said for this music because it is very well done. The first thing that happens is that we have the chords that played before Penny songs. So it is that kind of hopeful, kind of wistful sound that we get before Penny sang throughout the entire musical. But those chords are quickly overtaken by Dr. Horrible's evil soundtrack. Specifically, once again, his villainous moments in Slipping. So we have Penny's hopeful song being completely overshadowed by Dr. Horrible's evil song. Because in this show, at least, cynicism kind of won over optimism, which is really unfortunate. But that is not all to be said about this song, because that's not all that happens. After the superly overdramatic and over-the-top evil sections, when it quiets down, we have the hints of My Eyes. And although My Eyes is kind of, sort of, a villain song for Dr. Horrible, that's not all it is. Because it also has that hopeful side that Penny sang about. So I think what this does more than anything is remind us that no matter how bad things may get, there is still the hope that it will get better. And I may be reading too much into it, but that's what I get from it, so there you go. Well, now that we're done talking about all the songs, and I feel like I rushed through those last few, and if you felt that way too, I do apologize for that. But now that that's done, I can talk about Dr. Horrible itself. I really like this show. I think it's extremely well done, and I think it's a perfect representation of the genius that is Joss Whedon and company. What I like about the show more than anything, though, is just the history behind it. This show came out during the writer's strike. So it was at the time when no new shows were getting made, and nothing new was happening on television. So Joss Whedon and company decided to take this as an opportunity to show that they can write things during the writer's strike. And that's where this 42-minute musical came from. And this show was advertised so well, and done so well, that when it was first released, the website on which it was released crashed. Because there were a lot of people trying to watch it. Ultimately, though, the reason I really like this musical is partly because Joss Whedon wrote it and he's amazing, but it's also partly because Joss Whedon does a great job of giving us a sympathetic protagonist. And not just a sympathetic protagonist, but a sympathetic protagonist who's trying to be a supervillain, which is not an easy thing to do. And he made him be believable, and he made all the characters believable. Despite the fact that this is a show with a superhero and a supervillain, he added a lot of complexity to it, and he gave us super realistic characters despite the fact that he didn't have to. And Joss Whedon once again did a wonderful job of making sure that you're not happy at the end of it, so that's good. But ultimately, I love this musical. I would definitely encourage you to check it out, and the difference with this one is that you can watch it on YouTube. So this isn't something where you have to go and buy tickets. It is readily available for anybody to watch. So, that's it for this musical. And truth be told, I don't know when the next musical is going to start. So, I will see you whenever that is.